Hey everyone, welcome to this talk for people with ADHD who feel frustrated with your performance, your struggle to maintain deep, lasting connections. This presentation is for you if you're overthinking and second guessing yourself, trying really too hard to get it right, whatever it is, so you don't disappoint someone, or maybe it's perfectionism, so you don't disappoint yourself. You probably have seasons of high performance that feel great and you feel great, but meanwhile, maybe you're insensitive and blow by important connections, though you really don't want to do that or see the impact of it until it's too late, till afterward. If any of that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Now, who this is not for is someone who is never ever hard on yourself. You feel great in your relationships and you're content with your results, then you don't need what I'm about to share. This isn't going to be tips to be efficient with ADHD and just be better. This is about a deeper change that empowers or really ruins all that other effort. Most people aren't talking about it because it doesn't fit the quick fix mentality so many people hope will change their lives. This deals with the heavy stuff, the negativity on the inside, and it's more challenging to bring real positivity to the really hard stuff, but that's what we're going to do. So, if you're still here, I want you to know first, your ADHD isn't the problem that's causing all this. It may seem like it, but if you're just focused on trying to change your life through fixing your ADD by working harder, being nicer, and trying to get it all together, you may actually be doing yourself harm. I'm going to show you why, and more importantly, what actually works so you can build a way out. The key here, where you end up, has a lot to do with where you start. And that's by identifying the problem correctly, the real problem. So let's just dive in. Many people with ADHD struggle with being self-critical, overthinking, and avoiding conflict because part of the ADHD brain is high sensitivity. But here's the truth. ADHD is more about impulsivity, the opposite of what we're talking about. It's what we learn and what our brains learn to do to manage our ADHD that can lead to the root cause of all that negativity. And it's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD. Now, you might have heard of RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, but it's much more than what you've probably heard, feeling gut punched when you're rejected. That's just the first crack in the foundation. That leads to an approach to life that rewires your brain over time to avoid negative consequences on the outside, but it does that by constantly creating them on the inside. Again, the good news is, unlike ADHD, this is learned, and what's learned can be unlearned. So if you've ever found yourself pushing yourself to be perfect because you're terrified of failure, avoiding hard conversations because you don't want to upset someone, feeling like any criticism, no matter how small, is something you have to avoid or disprove or it really hurts, that's not ADHD. That's RSD in action. And the worst part, you want to reach your potential, but you'll never do it by playing small, hiding parts of who you are, exhausting yourself, and you're really being your own worst enemy. RSD doesn't get you there. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They try to fix this in ways that aren't working. Let's talk about three big mistakes. Mistake number one is thinking that success will fix it. Many people believe that if they just accomplish enough, get a promotion, finish a degree, finally get it together in some way and have a clean room always, they'll feel confident. But if success were the answer, wouldn't you already feel differently? Haven't you had some success in the past that you've just forgotten? Instead, every achievement is like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Mistake number two, believing that perfectionism is a strength. Perfectionism isn't about high standards. I want you to have great high standards. Perfectionism, it's about fear. Your brain links mistakes to rejection. So avoiding mistakes becomes a survival strategy. But in reality, avoiding mistakes keeps you from finishing anything, especially important things, because whatever you do will be imperfect once it exists in reality. You might even not start the things that are important. It's called task avoidance. Mistake number 3, trying to just push through. Many people believe they just need more willpower, not to be lazy, have more self-discipline and better habits. All of that is somewhat accurate, but it's not true. No amount of skill or success will fix RSD because that's at the level of identity. And that's also where your brain sabotages these skills you're working so hard to master. You're barking up the wrong tree. If deep down you don't believe you're good enough the way you are, you'll never enjoy lasting success. So the real shift happens when you stop trying to just fix a specific behavior or thought even, and start working with your brain instead of against it. Remember, the brain develops in the context of experiences, and RSD comes from your brain automating negative experiences you've had on the outside, and they become internalized. Good news, it can be unlearned. And that's exactly what I have helped people to do with the ROAR formula. ROAR works because it's a road to authenticity and effectiveness, not by living up to an external standard, but by being who you are. Let me give you a quick overview of ROAR. The last R stands for results. That's what we're all looking for. Better results in our lives, better results in our relationships. So let's reverse engineer it. From R results, we go to A actions. We need to take different actions to get different results. But how do you do that from a place of authenticity instead of from a place of avoiding failure? We don't just need more compensatory actions from RSD. We need actions that come from authenticity. Well, that brings us to O. O is for observer. Most people try to fix their ADHD with better habits and willpower. But if you do that while you're still seeing yourself as negative, it won't work. That's why we create a new way to observe yourself. One that's free of the RSD and supports your growth instead of undermining it. Then you take new positive action sourced from the inside. It's natural without a mental battle. Now, finally, how do we transform this observer, the way you see yourself, so that the actions happen and the results happen? The first R is for ritual. Did I arbitrarily replace habit with ritual to be cute? Not at all. A habit is a piece of a ritual, but your rituals support your value and treat you as sacred. Together, what we do is create rituals that guide you toward authenticity. We do coaching too, but you can feel like you're an important part of your communities, and you can work happily to reach your potential and give your best contributions only when you feel like you're a positive person, which at the core of you, you simply are. We just have to find it and live from it. Now, on a more personal note, when I started using this system, everything changed. I started succeeding at things I'd always failed at without constantly pushing myself. Trusting myself more deeply started to come naturally. Connecting more with others started to come naturally. Instead of overthinking and second guessing everything, my life started working better than I'd ever dreamed possible. The openness and closeness that I'm able to have in my relationships is changing my life. And I've seen the same results in my clients. So if this resonates with you and you're ready, not everyone is ready or open to exploring a new way of seeing yourself, a deeper positive way of seeing yourself, and learning to take actions from that place. But we can explore the possibility of working together if it's a good fit. If you want to do this, I'm here to help. Book a call before you overthink it.